Hi there, this is Yolanda. Thank you for choosing me as your coach. This video is intended to help you to be prepared for our first session. So we can, number one, save some time and we have more time to focus on you and what you need. And also you can be more prepared and bring some questions to our session for us to discuss. First of all, if you are really new to coaching or coaching is really new to you, then there could be some common sort of preconception about coaching being, part of like teaching or mentoring or giving you some of the answers that you've been seeking. And that is yes and no, in the sense that coaching eventually would help you to definitely get some of the answers you've been seeking, but perhaps not answering the same questions that you were asking. Most likely you are going to find yourself asking different questions after the coaching sessions. And that's the real power of coaching, is re-examining framework and mindset so that we can look at things from a different perspective and we start to ask different questions that are more important to the real objective we want to meet. So coaching as a method and also process is not advisory, it's much more on inquiry. So the coach may not know more than you, and in some cases I might know some of the best practices or framework that could help you, and I do share those as tools to help my coaches when they don't know, they don't have a handle to look at things. However, I may still guide you to get to your own answers rather than giving you the answer. And the real function or the job of a coach here is to hold a space and also to provide a lot of mirrors on those walls so that you start to see yourself. But it is not a parallel mirror to reality in the sense that you see the reality with your perceptions and your framework, and your way of, your lenses. And the coaching session is for you to see what lenses and what framework that you are looking at the reality, and also what kind of assumptions, what kind of negative or positive emotions you are bringing into that, to construct your world. So to a certain extent, coaching is about deconstructing or updating some of that old framework that maybe no longer serve your reality or serve your goals. What's the boundary? So within a coaching session, I always tell people that, you own the space and I don't, in the sense that whatever material, topic, content that you bring to the coaching session, really everything belongs to you. So you have all the rights to, some of my clients maybe share with their colleagues or even on social media about what they have learned. But the coach basically will say nothing about that because I don't own it. I have to abide by my ethics code governed by the International Coaching Federation, and also the platform that we are engaging through would also be, so if we are engaging through a platform here, will also be expecting me to hold that space. And I know nothing or nobody from your company, and there will be zero communication channel. That means it's absolutely safe for you to talk about things like you hate your boss, you hate your job, or you are trying to look out, or anything else, as long as you feel comfortable to talk to a stranger or a coach in this space. And that brings another topic about the boundary. So people sometimes have the conception that, you are engaging someone for career topics, but really we are all integral, whole person, whole being. We are not career being and life being, right? So a lot of things that you see at mindset level are going to appear and be applicable in life. You are going to see the same pattern. If you are not a risk taker for your career, you are likely not a risk taker in life. And if you see discrepancy, then it's also a great learning point. What makes a person who is a risk taker become so conservative when it comes to career, right? So therefore, the boundary is what you define, whatever you feel comfortable with, but the more you can throw into the space, the more you get out of it, because it's a space for reflection and it's a space where you do your work, and I, as your coach, will be enabling you to do that work. So to work together, there are a few ground rules I would like to highlight. I'll call them 4F. The first F is about feel free to take the space and the time to reflect. A lot of times, if you are new to coaching, when the coach asks you questions, and you are going to realize that I would ask you a lot of questions. Sometimes people are embarrassed, like, oh, I've never thought about this way, and no one has asked me this question. So when that happens, know that this is the best thing that could happen in a coaching session, because it's not like Q&A. I ask you a question and you ask and answer. Then by the end of the session, you gain nothing new. But the best is when I ask you a question and you say, wait, I don't know. So many people's instinct will be like, Yolanda, maybe I can, think about it after our session in my free time. So I would be like, just take the time now and take the space now, because this is where you do the work to reflect on this question and look at what you do know. And I'll be just waiting there for you because it belongs to you. And the second F is feedback. So as I will be giving you not only questions, but I'll also be giving you observations. So I may be telling you that, what, I see you are experiencing and perceiving life and reality this way. And sometimes I could be wrong, or you think I'm wrong, right? Sometimes maybe I'm right and you are wrong, or maybe none of us is right. But whatever it is, honor your feeling and reaction and tell me, Yolanda, I think you got it wrong. I didn't mean that. And let me elaborate, right? So that is the important part, not to be polite, because I'm going to be 100% honest and direct with you. And you need to do that with me as well, so that I can get a chance to learn more about you. And then I'll be able to enable you better to do your work of reflection. The third F is fun. So have some fun. I'm kind of famous for using a lot of metaphor among all my clients. And most of them really love it. We really go into, metaphors are very powerful because it can cut away a lot of noise. And when we look at life, there are so many factors interacting with each other, all are bundled together. It's very hard to work on something itself. But if we can extract the essence of the matter, what exactly you aspire to achieve and what exactly is holding you back, and use a metaphor to explore the key relationship in that matter, it's going to be a lot more effective, and you really gain the clarity that you otherwise wouldn't have. So have fun with that, because that might take you to the outer space, it might take you to the neurons, it might work with you in some sports game, depending on what you are, presenting with. And yeah, it's usually really fun, right? The last F is to have free fall. Free fall because you start with a topic. Of course, you own your topic, you present topic in life into the coaching session, and the rest is for us to have a free fall, because we are going to peel layers after layers, and you will start to see the topics that you brought are no longer the topic that we were working on, and we are going elsewhere, because that's where we want to zoom in, and that's what matters. And at the end of it, you are going to find a new topic very far away from the original one, but it's going to help that in the real transforming kind of change, because the original topic is often a very vague and broad domain, and the later topic are going to be something very specific to you and really instrumental in you making a mindset change and also a behavior shift. So yeah, having said a lot of everything. I know it's very abstract. I hope you are getting excited, but also curious about the coaching journey, and looking forward to meeting you in person or virtually as well. Lastly, in terms of logistics, which people always ask, so usually it's very hard to book my session for the immediate following 2 weeks because most of my clients book in advance. So you will also sort of need to do that to make sure that we have multiple sessions lined up after whatever, is earliest. So for example, maybe from today, you can't get any session for the next 2 weeks, but you can get a session, first one 2 weeks later, and then book the consecutive sessions after that. So you can book your first 4 or 8 sessions in the frequency of weekly session if it's the first month. And after that, usually I would recommend to make it a reduced frequency, like bi-weekly, because it's very hard for us to keep up that intensity after you have opened up your reflective space, after you are getting used to reflecting and getting better at observing yourself. Then more and more work will be done in between sessions, offline on your own. And to do that, you are going to find yourself craving more space to make some progress instead of seeing me too frequently. I hope that is clear. If not, during our sessions, we will just clarify on whatever is not. So see you soon.